first book review in quite a while. I spent my time reading this one, but I just finished the book Lucky Man, a memoir by Michael J. Fox. Yes, I have the Kindle version of it. I actually was surprised to find out that he had written a book, not just a book, he's written 3 books, and this is the first one, so this is the only one I've written, not written, I've read so far. I'll get around to the other 2 probably in the not too distant future. I may intersperse them with other books in between, but yeah, for those who don't know me on a personal level, I've been going through a massive Michael J. Fox kick lately. I've pretty much been working my way through his entire filmography from beginning to end. I am not all the way there yet, but in the middle of doing this, I found out that he's written books. So I was like, well, I may as well read those too while I'm at it. Why not? So this one, in particular, is sort of a biography, but not of, like, his entire life and everything in it. It's more sort of a balancing act between biography as well as his journey with Parkinson's. The latter is actually more of what the focus of this particular book is, and how he's viewing that illness almost as a blessing in disguise versus as something horrible that happened to him. I mean, obviously it's bad, but he has a very optimistic way of looking at it, but it goes back and forth, style-wise, between how he was in his childhood, fast forward to, like, 30 years later, with the onset of Parkinson's before he realized what was going on, rewind back to a little bit later in his childhood, something that'll in some way impact the future, jump back to a little further in that story, and it goes back and forth and back and forth, and at first it's a little bit jarring to try and keep up with the constant back and forth thing, just timeline-wise, but ultimately, when you read it, it does make sense. As weird as that kind of sounds, I know it's hard to explain without actually reading it. I actually got this particular one from my library. It's available on Overdrive, which tells me that probably most libraries have it available in ebook format. They also have it in audiobook format, which might be cool to download now to listen to him read it, but yeah, what tripped me out most, I think, about this book is that it's written in exactly the style he talks in. So it's practically like listening to him read it to you anyway, just in words. So that's why I'm kind of intrigued to download the audiobook version next. But, yeah, so anyway, it doesn't focus primarily on his career. It doesn't primarily focus even on his personal life and everything that's happening. There's a lot of things that were left entirely out of it, probably just for the sake of keeping certain things private in his own life, because it's very big to him to have a separation between public persona and his private life at home and keeping boundaries between the two, which I think is awesome because not a lot of celebrities can do that. But it's also kind of cool throughout the book. A lot of times at the beginnings of chapters, there's photos in there. I don't know if they're in color in the paperback version. Since I just have a Kindle Paperwhite, everything's in black and white on everything, so I don't know if those are color photos or not, but they're still very cute regardless, even in black and white, so, anyway, I mean, it's not like he totally leaves those things out 100%, but he spends much more time talking about his journey with Parkinson's disease, and also his journey towards becoming sort of, in a way, an ambassador for the disease and bringing light to it and trying to get government funding for researching it. All of that's in there, and how he became an advocate for it, even though he did not want to become the poster boy for the disease, which I don't blame him for either. It's really intriguing, though, and especially if you're a fan of his work, you'd probably enjoy reading the book, too. I really enjoyed it. That's why I took my time going through it, because I didn't want to just race through it and lose something out of doing it so quickly. I took my time on it. That's why it took me like a few months to go through the whole thing. But anyway, I just really enjoyed it personally, both as a fan and just as somebody reading this book. Even if it weren't him personally, I think I still would have enjoyed it just as much. And he still manages to inject humor even into the darkest moments, which, again, not everybody can do. So that to me was very cool, that he's just that optimistic of a guy, and he just is a very nice person all around anyway. So especially reading this and realizing it's not just an act for the cameras, he just is naturally that sweet of a person all the time. It's kind of refreshing to see. And not to mention, it's not that often that you find a celebrity that has only been married one time and is still married to that person. So, and is happily with them. So yeah, on a 1 to 5 scale, I would give this a 5-star rating personally. I'd actually rate it higher if I could. I really enjoyed it and highly recommend this to anybody who likes Michael J. Fox, anybody who wants to learn about the progression of Parkinson's disease, anybody who just likes memoirs and biographies, anything like that. You'd probably enjoy this. So anyway, as usual, if you liked this video, click the like button. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Leave comments down below. Until next time.